You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lights of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live. In your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
No, I shouldn't be muted. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you? No sound? I can hear it as good as that. Can you all hear me now? Because my sound is saying that it's good here. Take that back out. Can you hear me? Oh, you can hear me now? Okay, how about now? Because I got this baby turned all the way up. So everybody can still hear me now? I'm back now because I'm talking loud. Oh, you can hear me now, Sue? Let me make sure y'all can hear me now. Thank you, everybody. I could hear everything. You all couldn't hear me. I'm like, I got this volume turned up loud now. Thank you, Sue. Y'all can hear me? All right. Thank you, Soup Letha, Mac Cha Cha, People in the Bushes, Dre Day, P Legal. Thank you. All right. Let's get off into this. All right. Go back to present mode. That is funny. I'm up here talking all loud. I'm like, what in the world is going on? Yes. Hey, Sonia, how you doing? How you be, Sonia? All right, we stay actively engaged. Disclaimer. Graphic content, parental consent is necessary and needed. Viewers' discretion is advised. This channel is not for minors, although it is extremely educational. But parental consent is needed. And in accordance to the Copyright Act of the United States of America, sections 106, 106A, 107, and the others, fair use, I have a right to use pictures, images, videos, so on, so forth, and the like, as this information is not a matter of public records in accordance to Copyright Act of the United States of America. And I skipped all the rest of that, but here it is, right here. Again, congratulations to Warnoff. Oh, you was waiting? You gonna refresh, Crystal? Okay. So here it is. John and Raphael, they got it. I knew Raphael was going to get it, and I knew John was going to be real close with Purdue. But there it is. They have control, or the majority, in the House and the Senate now, as well as a Democratic president. Okay? Now, with that being said, I don't like everybody that he's chosen for his cabinet, period. I don't. And I have reasons why. They standing on the weak side right now. I don't need a kumbaya moment. I need a kick your behind moment and a recompense moment. I need a repayment moment. Yeah, I need to make sure justice is rendered. This don't make everything all right. Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Tatiana Jefferson, Botham Jean, Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice. I can run the list of names. Freddie Gray. We can keep this list going. Stephen Clark, even though some people felt up in the air about that, but whatever. The list don't stop. The names don't stop. Oh, okay, Crystal. Okay, Crystal. And you probably do have a delay. Wild Boy Mac, you all the way back. You all the way back. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. And while I am smiling and responding to everybody who's streaming live from the chat, I am extremely mindful that, yeah, we was going to stand back and stand by and see if those military tanks was going to roll up in the Capitol earlier at the White House, Capitol building. That's what we was going to do, because that's what they do, right? That's what they love to do, right? When it's African-American people out there protesting and then other nationalities or ethnic groups join us, they like to roll the military in, right? Immediately, right? Let the record show. Historically, that's what they do, right? Where was the tanks at today? Officers out there taking selfies. So we have officers out there taking selfies with protesters. So we had some officers out there taking selfies with the protesters, not throwing tear gas at them, shooting them rubber bullets at them, hitting them with them batons, beating them like they were kids and animals with those batons. I ain't seen none of that today. One lady allegedly got shot, but I'll wait for thorough investigations to be conducted, as well as look at all the video playback, because it is the White House. So it's video surveillance running all through there. We'll wait and see. All P-legal intel, and I'm happy you said it because you're from Washington. So the police said they were sick today, so they can let them in the building, because my thing was, okay, I got sieged, Trump and his crew sieged the White House, but how they get up in there? What? Military one using those stingrays today to intercept people's cellular networks and eavesdrop on them and scramble the frequency in the atmosphere? And where's Barr at? He don't get no pass. You don't think he knew about this? We not slow over here. We ain't new to this. We true to this. Mitch McConnell, where was he at? You ain't nickel slick either. Lindsey Graham, you all out in the front. Ted Cruz, y'all been out in the front. They need to try every last one of y'all for treason. What's good for the geese is good for the gander, right? Isn't this U.S. law? Oh, but what you proven is you stand in your skin color and say you above the law. And the Congress, do your doggone jobs. You could have shut Trump down a long time ago when he was held in contempt of Congress. You should have snatched him up out that bed, handcuffed him, and brought him before the Congress. Don't play. Don't play. See, they playing. They playing now. They playing. Nobody got time to be playing games. But when it's African American people, then it's all war on U.S. citizens. Selah. Pause and think about that for a minute. But they want to be out here playing ring-arounds and Rosie all doggone day, and they could have been shut that down. The same Trump that ran over protesters last year in Washington because he wanted to hold the Bible upside down. Same police, some of the same police. Where was the military tanks at then? Today? Where were they at today? Because they was out there then. So he can hold the Bible upside down. And that was a peaceful protest. Excuse me, where were the tanks at then? Today, where were they? What, don't nobody know nothing? Nobody got no answers? Couldn't nobody move swiftly enough? They don't get to sit up and act like they're confused and don't understand what's going on. Stop that stupid stuff. This is 2021. We ain't with that foolishness. It never was, cuz. It ain't no future in your front. Just like that. Wild boy Mac, you cutting up. Right, Cha-Cha, straight trickery, just con artists. Andre, you say you so upset, you pissed off at the hypocrisy? Don't be, this is America. This is America. Meanwhile, internationally and globally, the rest of the world is standing by. They're standing back and standing by and saying, listen, when we tear the United States up, should we choose to take y'all to war, we gonna hit y'all every way but loose. You have proven yourself the last 4 years to be as weak as you wanna be. And we know we can infiltrate you, USA. You don't think the rest of the nation is sitting back looking at that? You must be slow, on the slow train. Get off the slow train and get on the fast track train. Get on the express. Me pause for a minute. And if you don't think Russia got all of your information, you must be sick. So we gonna need you to get some of this truth serum tonight and cure you up. If people don't think Russia for the last 4 years plus have had all of the United States military secrets, as well as the US citizens' data, as well as any type of intellectual property or things that was moving through the White House per Trump and his friends' hands, you got to be slow. But we're going to catch you up to speed. Right, Letha, laughing at the US. Oh, okay, P Legal Intel, you said they wouldn't allow DC to call enforcers until after it got out to the rest of the nation. You know what? Chris, you said Martin Luther King risen from the grave. You know what? P Legal, like I said, because you're from DC and that's where you live at. You're right there in the heart of it. The mayor, because she was on, had already called for military and everything else, but we know how the game go. Right? But it's the game, right? Everybody want to try to run game, right? Everybody try to run game like people ain't woke and like people sleep and like people can't see And like people won't let the record show and play back everything you've done. Everybody on some gang. Y'all want to run gang? That's what y'all want to keep doing, US? See, other nations got your number a long time ago. And what you've proven to them the last 4 years is that you can be punked inside and out. Let me say it again for the slow ones so I can bring you up to speed. USA, as a nation, you have proven to other nations that you can be punked inside out and that you're very weak as a nation overall. Now, should another nation want to take us to war, because I am a US citizen, what you gonna do? What we gonna do as a nation? Pause and think about that for a minute. When you have leaders at the top telling every secret they can, giving over your information to another nation. They refused her for hours, P legal. Yeah, and it was. They told her it was federal property. So they're going to tell her it's federal property like she didn't know that federal property was being seized and that it was being taken over by some trumpeters, some trumpets. But everywhere else, when it's federal property, the tanks come out. They want to deputize regular citizens to go in and shoot up folk over buildings. What happened today? You said the Capitol and 10 miles away. Oh, cha-cha. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Not just him, a couple of other ones. I'm with you. I'm right there. I'm with you. The rest is DC property. Okay. So you giving a breakdown. P Legal Intel, thank you. Like I said, P Legal Intel is actually from DC. She lives right there, not in another city. She's from DC. So she's giving us the breakdown in terms of zones, which I really don't care about the zoning right now, but thank you. Letha, he was alive when he got in there. But let's look at this. Let's have a look for ourselves as Pence was escorted out. Pretty boy Pence got escorted out. Oh, goodness. Pretty boy Pence got escorted out. Don't believe me, though. I'm going to just let the record show. Play the clip. Yes, I will. I'm on YouTube. I'm paying y'all not to run ads through here. So play the clip.
Inside the chamber right now.
Okay, Dre.
It looks as if one of our producers there says the House is actually back in recess and members have been told to stay seated.
And this is them going
over in the
out.
Senate, where reporters aren't even allowed to have their phones in the chamber. But one of ours does. Capitol Police have told senators to stay away from the doors in the Senate chamber. They are instructed to stay put. Many of them are on their phones down in the well. They escorted out Vice President Pence, who's in the line of succession, who obviously is a more high-profile leader who brings with him much more protection when he comes to the Capitol. Other senators are still in the chamber. In fact, one aide is now just telling me this, guys, over a text, that members are being told to, quote, get under the chairs in the House chamber. This is a aide to a member of Congress.
Right, cha-cha, COVID, coronavirus all up and through there.
In the House chamber. You might be wondering, why can't we show you images of that? Because every time the House goes into recess, they turn off the cameras And so we can't see that.
The situation has reached a dire point where the U.S. Capitol is now in lockdown. Both the House and Senate, which are tasked with, according to U.S. code, to count the electoral votes. That is the final step in the
Max, you said they like that was
Biden is the
easy.
next president of the United States. After being incited into violence by the president, the current
We
president
still got
Donald Trump,
missions
the
as a
supporters have
nation.
now stormed
We
the
be
United
up at the
States
moon for a
Capitol.
reason.
The mayor of the District
They
of
would've shot
Columbia
they
has
stuff
just
down.
issued an extraordinary curfew, 6 p.m. tonight, that will no doubt be enforced asked to be enforced by the Guard. The Secretary of the Army has previously signed an order that more than 300 National Guard soldiers would assist the District of Columbia. No word at this point whether that number has been increased or whether there is an ask for an additional National Guard soldiers. This is the nightmare scenario. This is the reason that 10 former secretaries of defense who have served both Republican and Democratic presidents unitely under the direction
Thank
of
you,
Dick
little mama.
Cheney, who by many liberals and Democrats is considered a pariah, actually pushed to have them do this, to say the military will not get involved. It should not get involved in our electoral process. But this
right here don't have nothing to do with no electoral process.
antagonizing event,
Excuse me.
brings real nervousness among all the powers of government because of the concern about what it's.
They trespass.
This is a democracy. Protest is protected and allowed, but violence is not. And there are concerns among
Destroying property, a federal building they are
these
occupying.
images will be used by our foreign adversaries about what's happening.
The White House.
I'm being told by a senator over a text message that they are evacuating. That's all I'm being told. Forgive me. There are
Okay, I'm not
conflicting
gonna watch
reports
them
that
all the way through because they were skipping through there.
Senior leader inside the chambers right now, by the way. It looks as if one
I want to go. Let me get to the next clip.
of our producers there says the House
And
is
so,
actually back
yeah,
in recess and
Nancy Pelosi did.
have been
She
told to
did.
stay
She busted
seated.
the move tonight and said, "Guess what? We stand up in here, and we gonna do this business. Senate, y'all be back up in here tomorrow. We gonna keep it moving." So the House is still there. Those who didn't leave, they still there. But it's funny to me because you get them going inside the chambers, tearing up papers, staff members. So keep in mind, our Congress have staff. Okay, so they were shocked. Some of them were shocked, and were a little shaken up. And you have them running, and trying to get to safety. Keep in mind, Congress got protection in obscurity. I guess they staff was left out there hid. But I wouldn't have been running to get under no desk. We got a right to bear arms, right? I would have been shooting. Let me say it again, because I said I was going to get underneath some people's skin and shed that skin to get you a new one. I would have been shooting if I worked up in there. I wouldn't have been running. Running for what? No. You want to run up on me? That's a threat. You have directly threatened my life. That's right. And I would have been up in there shooting. Running for what? Yeah. Shooting and throwing chairs. That's right. Yeah. Running chairs down the hallway like I was at bowling alley. That's what you want to do? All right. Because this is a threat. And I know they were directly threatening police officers earlier. They up in there, somebody was in Mike Pence's chair. They just up in there cutting up. Cutting up. Like, why? Like, it's laughable, but at the same time, if this color showed up, it would have been an issue. Snipers would have been shooting. Let me say it again. Snipers would have been shooting, not just standing on a building. waving guns, they would have been shooting. By the way, not only that, the crawl space that's in the White House, what, y'all couldn't get through the crawl space, come down from the ceiling and snatch they behinds? Don't play games with me. Y'all know it's all kind of doors in the White House. Floors too, walls too, for exiting and entering. What, they think that nobody know? Stop playing. They play too much. They play too much. Again, I'm happy Mitch McConnell lost his seat by Mitch, but at the same time, this right here is some foolishness, because I was waiting to see the tanks that they have used in my state, especially when Rick Snyder was governor, for one man, and he was in his early 20s. They sent the military tank and SWAT to get one young black male some years ago in his 20s out of a house. One. He was by himself. What? Where the tanks at now? Where's all the intercepting at now, Barr? Which is why he resigned. His hands is in this too. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, none of them have clean hands. Your hands ain't clean. Don't act like y'all didn't know the deal was getting ready to go down. Republican senators and House representatives, Republican reps from the House, don't act like y'all didn't know this was about to go down. You had already been briefed on this. Quit playing. You was waiting to see him yourself? Maybe the hot Donald. Cha-Cha, you cutting up tonight.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
Hey, thank you, Sour Patch. Hey, Patch.
We'll pause.
Protesters are in the building.
Thank you.
There wasn't anything you said.
We were just told that there has been tear gas in the rotunda, and we're being instructed to each of us get gas masks that are under our seats.
They are inside where the voting takes place. Somebody been listening. What I said, African Americans and the rest of the people who are anti-foolishness should have been doing the Mitch McConnell now. Long time ago, shutting the Senate down every day. Let me play that back. Let me play it back, because like I said, somebody let them all the way up in there. They got all the way up in there. And let me play it back.
I haven't seen anyone. We're going to walk down to the Capitol.
And they walked down to the Capitol literally, as he commanded them to.
We'll pause.
Protesters are in the building.
Thank you.
There wasn't anything you said.
We were just
Hey,
told
Sour.
that there has
you
been
doing?
tear gas in the rotunda.
Thanks for the
and we're
share.
being instructed to each of us get gas masks that are under our seats.
Legislative chambers, they're in there. They were in there tearing up papers, sitting in Mike Pence, going through paperwork. And what's interesting is, where the pepper spray at? Where the tear gas at? What? Did the U.S. run out of pepper spray? Did they run out of tear gas? Where the tanks at? Where were those batons at that they like to beat everybody else with? Who's out protesting for justice for real? Oh, I said it. Where they at? And you had police officers in selfies? And then it was a standoff going on earlier this morning. You know, they got guns and then they armed too. Some of them was armed too, and police had guns in the stand. What was that about? Made the quickest draw win, right? And police, they retrained you all years ago, combat style shooting, on combat style shooting. So y'all shoot like y'all in war anyway. Remember when they retrained the police departments on how to shoot like they're in war? So what was that about? Earlier this morning, what was that about? Dog and pony show. Act like we out here really going against each other, and I'm gonna let y'all seize the White House, the Capitol building. Y'all play too much, United States as a nation. Y'all been playing too much. Y'all been playing the last 4 years. And the blood of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Tatiana Jefferson, Botham Jean, Sean Reed, and a host of other names I can run. It's on y'all hands and on y'all head. You stand guilty tonight. This ain't funny and it ain't cute. Laughable moments. But at the end of the day, it ain't nothing about this unjust system over here that's cute. Hey, G Money. Cha-Cha, you said Nancy gonna sleep in the tunnel upside down. Cha-Cha, Nancy is actually working. She working. You said where they at, where the tank's at? Yeah, they let them in, Mac. You know they let them in. Come on now. You said they on the sick leave. Cha-Cha, you cutting up tonight. You said ain't no sick leave. It's only a slick leave from the White House, from Congress. No sick leave. They be on slick leaves. You know, everybody who worked the job, you know about a slick leave. You know about employees who always on a slick leave. If you worked back in the day, you know about them employees who was always on a slick leave and not a sick leave. Come on. Nobody in Congress on no sick leave. They on some slick leaves. Meanwhile, where was Mitch McConnell at? The one who been utilizing everybody else's money. The one who said, I know what the American people need. $600. That's enough for you. had the audacity to turn around and tell us U.S. taxpaying citizens who have worked a job, if you have ever worked a job in the United States of America in somebody else's vineyard, that means you in somebody else's corporation and somebody else's entity, you know they take the taxes out of your check right off the bat. This ain't free money. It's taken right out your check. Who you think FICA is? And you get these ignorant Congress and senators in here trying to tell people they're doing them favors by giving the people some of their money back. And I was so happy when Bernie Sanders finally scaled Mitch McConnell down. Said you have 10 of the poorest counties out of all of 50 nations in the United States. And you talking about $600 is what you want to give people back? That's why they went to his house with some graffiti and some handy dandy artwork like they did Nancy Pelosi's. They went to her house for being weak. They went to his house for playing games. P. Legal, you said you sick of all of them? Because they've been up in there playing too long. This didn't even have to progress this far. Remember when Donald Trump was impeached and he was in contempt of Congress? The U.S. Congress could have then had him arrested and cuffed and brought before them legally. That's their job. Just like the Congress, with all this shenanigans and finagle going on today, could have said, military, you on call. Get your butts out here. If you want your jobs, do what you do. We have the authority to do such. They're in here terrorizing our precious buildings that we run everybody else over for when they fighting for a Black life or a other ethnic group whose life got snatched by the cops. Then it's like they know what to do. But today it's like what? They couldn't figure nothing out. Everybody had ice on the brain real quick, had a brain freeze. Right. Yes, they went to his house in Ted Cruz. Why, boy, you said they act like they the Roman Empire. Well, guess what? Rome fell. So if they want to act like Rome, they're going to be treated like Rome. And the fall of Rome was hard, baby. That was a hard fall. Delete it. All right, let me play this because they. You let it have been a group of Black people standing outside the White House going back and forth with the cops. You let it have been a Mexican group. You let it have been any ethnic group. They would have had the dogs out, the horses out, the drones out, and everybody else out. Playing. And they out there having a religious debate. out there arguing about being an Israelite or Christian or whoever, whatever.
The condition of our people in America. What the so-called white man has done is far beyond what the other nations did. They prophesied it through the Roman Empire. Hey, Jack. The power that the Roman Empire had, which is still being pushed.
And then they have the nerve enough to be out there trying to give a message. Why? Yes, and it's unfortunate, Christy.
Sure. Sure. Who is it?
You know what? Let me stop this because because this is gonna start to make me upset. Because right now I'm like, hegs no, hegs no, no way, no way, they no. They don't want no African Americans booted and suited and strapped up. The ones who was doing all that playing around earlier with the cops. Cops out there patty caking them. We're going to be civil. Really? So you mean to tell me the police department has the capability of being civil to someone? And people like to say it ain't a skin thing, it's a sin thing, it's both. You can't have one without the other. Downright diabolical, derelicts. Cha-Cha, you said they prepping for war. Well, if a war is what they want, or a war is what they'll get. But the U.S. need not be so callous to think that should it happen again like it did when the South was against the North, because they didn't want to free the slaves, that other nations not going to come in and take advantage of an opportunity, because they will. And why the United States of America spent months last year sending Chinese spies back and focusing on them. They seem to have let the Russian agents do whatever the heck they wanted to do over in here. And by the way, where was Donald Trump's parents originally from? And his two wives were, because he's been married, what? How many times? 3? And 2 of his wives were what? From where? And speak what? Fluently? And that means he does what fluently? Speak what fluently? Okay. Connect the dots. You said the Deep South? Weapon stockpile bigger than your house? P-legal intel, you're going there. You're going there. For real. Thank you, Cha-Cha. Exactly. And you too, Dre Day, where his parents were from. But Cha-Cha, you hit the nail on the head. Exactly. Russians. So one would be a little slow and green to believe that Donald Trump was as slow and as green as they thought he was. And they would be slow, extremely slow to think that he don't speak fluent Russian. Being married to 2 Russian wives, having been married to 2 Russian wives. Are they that stupid? Kerensz, why are you still upset at Russia? Because Russians were posing like Black people. Russians were posing like Black people, had websites up like they were Black people, had full profiles like they were Black and they were not. Playing the same psychological game that they did years ago on other ethnic groups. That's why I don't like that. And they had a bunch of Black people over in the United States twisted up in the head. And ran game specifically posing as Black people and ran game on Black people psychologically. So no kumbaya. So apparently, what should have been the strongest link, they worked as the weakest link. She is, Mac. And he was married to a one before that. He had 2 that were. Remember, he's been married, what, 3 times? So, meanwhile, they took it over. They were allowed to take it over. But had this been in the hood, wouldn't have went down like that. Had this been a large group of African-American people, predominantly African-American people with other ethnic groups joining, it wouldn't have went down like this today. And if you think I'm lying, then you're not as smart as you think you are. And you're missing some steps. And you need to go back and pay attention to detail. And that means you need to go back and pay attention to the last 1,000+ years. I ain't gonna even take you back 1,000 years. Go back and pay attention to the last 150-year history of the United States of America. Like, just go back 150 years. That's all I'm gonna take you back. I'm not even gonna take you back 200 years ago. I'm gonna just take you back 150 years ago. Go back and pay attention. So it was unfortunately in 2021, I had to stand back and stand by and watch our U.S. Congress people get pumped again. Let me say it again. It is unfortunate that in 2021, I had to stand back and stand by and watch the U.S. Congress get pumped again. but they want to huff and puff and bluff some houses down. Okay. Yeah, I think so too, Cha-Cha. Okay, P legal. Yeah, and Cha-Cha. The United States is still the most violent nation in the world. And so when you say it's neighbors murdering neighbors, well, the United States, that's unfortunately, that's this nation's history. They came over here murdering my ancestors. They came over here murdering other ethnic groups. And so you cannot undo years of history within a small time frame. And you definitely are not going to get rid of that ideology dealing on the surface when it's root deep. It doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, as a whole, African Americans have never been allowed to heal or have been counseled by somebody who knows what they're doing and knows what they're talking about without being exploited as a whole. That hasn't happened for us. Individually, sure, some have. Holistically, no. America has never made right what it has done to African American group or any other ethnic group. And unfortunately, a lot of white, wealthy men see their women as second class citizens and have treated them as such for years, have been beneath them. In this nation. While our ancestors was being beat like dogs, roadkill cattle, and everything else under the sun, this America's ideology of them being supreme and right still resides in this nation. That is still here. That old stinking ancient paradigm and methodology is still here. Methodology is still here. Way of thinking and dealing with things is still here. And it needs to be undone. From the root to the top and from the top to the bottom. Because it's rotten to the core. People should have never been allowed to think that because the color of their skin, they are above somebody else. Who told them that? Whoever told them that told them a lie. And they believed it for all them years. You think because you white or whatever, you superior? No, you're not. Who told them lies to them? So this is what you see. It's not about Trump winning. He's a liar. He's a pathological liar. He's a Pinocchio. We know he lost. No, it's about his superior mindset, thinking he's superior to all the others. And unfortunately, He found some people who go out there and worship him like he was a king and a god, and he ain't one. Period. That's on period. He ain't nothing but a punk. Period. Oh, you feel some static? Okay. We as a people, okay. Okay, she said it's static, so I'm gonna wrap up. So thank you all for streaming, and remember this: we're still in a pandemic. You can look up, you can get up. With that being said, hopefully everybody can still hear me. I'm gonna straighten these static issues out. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for streaming. Remember to wear your mask.